What's up, good people? So in the background, I got some Funkadelics playing. Don't own the rights to it. My new project I'm working on is about the conditioning of the mind and how most people don't want to hear that they've been conditioned to believe a certain way, to respond a certain way, and everybody wants to think that they're doing something because this is what they was taught. But when you was taught a certain way, you was conditioned to believe that way. So I was having a conversation with my niece a few weeks ago, and I was explaining to her how in, in the circus, a baby elephant is tied to a stake. When it gets bigger, it still believes that little tiny stake and that rope, it can't move it from the ground, and that's where it is. So, in my spiritual pursuit, when I talk to people about where you're conditioned to believe a certain thing and how religion, which is separate from spirituality, religion has basically ignored science. And so I was explaining to her that most of us have powers that we don't understand how to tap into, or we've forgotten how to tap into them. I'll give you an example. If I can talk to you without speaking, I can send you a message. That's called telepathy. Well, in many ways, we are all telepathic. Now, why do I say we're telepathic? Because when we pray to God, we say God hears our prayers. And you say you actually hear from God. Now, that isn't telepathy. What is it? It's just science giving a term to a spiritual act. But we've been taught that it's taboo to mix science and religion. Now, throughout the Bible, especially in the New Testament, Jesus demonstrates miracles, and he tells his disciples that you can do these same miracles and greater just based on your faith. If you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, you could tell a sycamore tree to move and it will move. You could tell a mountain to move, it will move. So those powers are within us. But you've been conditioned to believe that you can pray for others but not for yourself. You believe that God will do this, but you don't have the power to do it. But all through the New Testament, Jesus tells you that you have powers. But yet we won't tap into them because the way you've been taught in church has restricted your mind's ability to tap into those things. When you look at other cultures and how their spiritual people chant, how they meditate, all those things were the same things Jesus did when he went in the desert for 40 days. When he went away after doing a great teaching, he went and he spent time within himself to re-energize himself. But we're not taught meditations in church. We're not taught chantings in church. We're taught to listen to one man speak, hear the choir sing, and think you have to go to him for healing. But Jesus told his disciples, and by the way, a disciple is several things. The disciple is a person that teaches and a person that's being taught. Anyone who followed Jesus was considered a disciple or a follower because he was studying Christ, or he was studying the teachings of Christ, because Jesus himself always referred to God as the master, not himself. He said he was the way to the master, but that he was not the master. Okay? And we can argue about the Trinity later on. But think about how you've been conditioned. Think about all the untapped energy and powers that you have within yourself that you don't even recognize you have. That's my thought for today. Be blessed. Be a blessing to others. And if you do it, keep it smoky.